What's going on? What's happening, family? So, I'm gonna make this as short. I've literally tried to record this video multiple times and just hasn't worked out like I wanted it to. But what I'm gonna talk about real quick or briefly is pivoting within your purpose. And this is not about to be preachy. If y'all see any of the few videos I posted, I'm not about to do that. But I do just want to be transparent a little bit because I still see men specifically, and even to break that down even more, married men that are creatives, kind of dealing with a few of these things, and it's gotten better over the years as far as opening up about it and speaking about it, and I'm saying doing panels and stuff. But I want to do that because I'm going to also shout out a couple of people that have impacted my life personally. But let me get to it. So pivoting within your purpose is something I've kind of realized, or has been a revelation to me very recently, and just watching and observing men consistently living for God and ministering and showing love for their families, and also living in their purpose and following their dreams. Like, to see it physically on a regular basis is a game changer for me. I'm pretty sure it's like that for other people too, but I'm talking about for me now. Because one thing that I felt that I lacked, and I know people are gonna be like, well, you don't lack nothing through Jesus Christ. I'm just, in my flesh, this is a deficit that I felt like I had. So, as a married father and a creative, I had my own thoughts and dreams as to what I would be doing at this point in my life. Almost 40, not too far off. I knew what I wanted to do, right? So over the years, I've tried different ways, different avenues, different things to get to that point. I had a little bit of success here and there, and I'm not minimizing. I'm just kind of trying to put it in perspective for you guys. But doing all that, and after years of making changes, or, you know what I'm saying, getting those no's, or, you know what I'm saying, feeling like you're being overlooked, or all this stuff. It's every creative goes through it. So going through all of that, and then uprooting my family and moving to Florida, not really knowing what to expect, but also realizing that it's definitely going to be a change, and, you know what I'm saying, developing new relationships, getting comfortable with the area, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But the point that I'm getting at is that a lot of men, including myself, are trying to still figure out how to get to and or walk in the purpose that God has designed for you. Now, here's the part that caught me off guard, or that hurt my feelings, to be completely honest. So for years, I've been praying like, hey, God, thank you so much in advance for this particular thing. I'm praying for these things to happen. God, position me for these things to happen. God, I need this type of person in my life. And I'm saying, you kind of get the picture. This is what I was praying for, without being specific. So recently, I've been having kind of the same dream, which I don't really dream vividly while I'm asleep. I have a lot more daydreams and visions and stuff like that, and signs, and all that stuff happens while I'm awake. So recently, I was just sitting in the car. I was driving to go drop off my kids at camp, and coming back from dropping them off, This is rare for me. So coming back from dropping them off, it was like I got a slap in the face. I'm like, okay, that was very weird. Very weird. So I'm like, all right, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna keep driving. Mind you, this is only about a 20 minute drive to get back home. Felt the same jolt again. And I'm like, all right, God, I don't know what this is. Help me right now. Show me what's going on. God, help me. Because this is weird and I don't know what to do. Do I need to go to the doctor? Start going through the whole process of trying to fix whatever that is. So I pulled over. Pulled over into, whose parking lot was this? So maybe a Dollar Tree parking lot. And I just sat there. Sat there for about a good 10 minutes. Like I was feeling weird. Like it wasn't like I was hyperventilating. It was just two very weird sensations. So I'm sitting there, God, what is it? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening to me? And this is only it's not often where it's like that vivid, where it's like instant, like, no, I need to listen. So I'm sitting there and turned the radio down, turned the air conditioning down in the car, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And I just sat there. I'm like, God, prepare me for whatever you're about to show me, or whatever I need to hear. Help me to receive it. That was my prayer. That's what I said out loud. That's what I was thinking. Like, took a deep breath. Like, okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens. So I'm sitting there, and it's clear as day. All I heard was, what you've been doing is not it. What you've been asking for is not it. Whew. Sorry, I hate doing this because and I haven't even told my wife this. And at that moment, at that very moment, you automatically going into like, okay, God, what do you mean? And in your heart, like you know what somebody means. But because this is God, I felt the need to question it one more time. Mistake. Woo. So God was just revealing to me that what I thought my music was meant for, what I thought my purpose was so small in God's eyes, in this whole grand scheme of things. I minimized God's ability. I put a cap on God. I put a cap on what he can really do. And the reason why I say that, because recently we were celebrating Men on Fire month at my church, Kingdom Builders Christian Church in Lakeland. Love pastors, love the pastors McKinley, Charlene Early McKinley. But since we've been there, actually before we went there, we're at a previous church. Love that church too. You know what I'm saying? God led us somewhere else. And I met my wife and I met two very special people. And I'm going to name them in a little bit because I tell them all the time. You know what I'm saying? We love them. But because of them, and again, the men that I see now consistently living and being the examples that I need to see in front of my face. And I'm saying that like because I don't want people to think that I didn't have good examples growing up. I did. But by and large, what I seen on a daily is what I seen as an adult on a daily. wasn't consistent. Wasn't consistent. And what I mean by that, like I may see a good couple over here, or I may see some good dudes over here, but as far as daily in my life, it was a lot of inconsistencies with integrity. It was a lot of inconsistencies with being men. Like it was a lot of males, but not a whole lot of men of integrity and that follow God and that put God first. It was a lot of dudes that was making money and faithful to their wives and all that stuff. So I don't want to get the wrong idea out there. But as far as my gift and nurturing my gifts, I didn't see any consistency. So I saw beastie musicians. I saw dope artists. I've been around them. I recorded with them. But it was always something. Nicest people in the world. But you're doing all the drugs up under the sun. Dopest musician in the world. But your attitude is horrible. You don't know how to talk to people. Or nice on the outside, ministers, pastors, brothers in the church, coming to find out like y'all doing all this deviant stuff. Like I can't be around that. Being in studio sessions like with 15 people, and we said specifically, hey, we coming here to record, but you bring 15 people with you and you here drinking and smoking, I'm out. Y'all can keep y'all money. I don't want it. I can't be around that. So I said all that to say this. When I got that message from God for me, that it hurt, but it was more so a, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, how do you put a cap on the infinite? How dare you, me, limit the one who can give you everything and more? Like, you can't even fathom what I can really do for you. Speaking God. But since you want to keep praying for these tiny things, and you won't open your mind and open your mouth about what, or open your mouth the way that you could and should be speaking to me, okay. And people have to realize that following God and being a Christian, people forget that it's how you live. It's all about what you do. It's all about what you do. And y'all can try to pin the few crazy extremists that's out there on God. No. Because all the stuff that y'all see and wanna attach to negativity and blame God for, that's man's problem. And that's just a little sidebar. The horrible things that y'all see in the world about people that follow God and follow Jesus Christ, that's man's problem. Man did that. I just had to say that. That's a side note. But for me, coming back to me, it hurt, but it was a necessary hurt. It was a necessary realization. And because I kind of put off a lot of, I pretty much stuffed my feelings. I put it in the closet. I'm like, okay, this isn't going like I thought. So I'm going to do it enough. Again, minimizing God. I'm going to do it enough to where it scratches the itch, but it won't risk my heart enough that if it stopped, it wouldn't hurt me. Does that make sense? So I'm going to do enough to feel like I'm doing something within music, but not enough to where I have to go through heartbreak again, working so hard for something, and then somebody else that is not God tells me no, and I feel some type of way. I hope that makes sense. Because right now, I'm getting to that place where I refuse to let another human being, not one, I don't care who you are, I don't care if I meet Clive Davis, Quincy Jones, any of the people that I've anybody, I don't care if I meet them tomorrow. If I have the opportunity, which would be great, and if they be like, no, we're not looking for that song, whatever their excuse, whatever their reason is, I know for a fact, because my faith and my ability rests in God, I'm gonna still be all right. And that's where I want a lot of people to get to. And some people are already there. More power to you. But again, I'm being very transparent because, like, it's so up and down. We as humans are very, very finicky, very fickle. Excuse me. But that hit me hard, because once he actually showed me what I'm supposed to be doing, oh, talk about relief. I don't know what it is, but the relief of knowing that what you're going to be doing or what you're meant to do is so much greater than what you were trying to do, or much greater than the box that you were trying to fit in. It's amazing. And I thank God, because being as a human being, like it's natural to want to quit or move around, or, you know what, I'll just do something else. But when it's in you, see, music is in me. I've tried to quit, can't do it. I've tried to do something else, can't do it. I got a whole nother degree in something that I can attach to music, but it wasn't for music. It doesn't matter, because what God called me to do and what he called you to do outweighs anything that you can think of. And I really thank God for the people around me. And I want to say it publicly, because for me, it has been a true life struggle letting go. It has been a true life struggle trying to figure out how I can fit into what we as musicians would call an oversaturated career. Especially as a producer, beat maker, composer. Like, it's a lot of us. It's a lot. So this is more of an encouragement to myself and you. But man, pivoting can be painful. Change is always uncomfortable. Growing is uncomfortable. Let me say that. Growing and changing is uncomfortable. But yeah, man, I'm relieved. It's scary. I don't really know how to feel about it. But one thing I do know, and one thing I do believe, is that whenever God, or when God blesses me and my family, when those moments, because it will be multiple. Oh, trust me, it's going to be multiple. And all I'm going to be able to do is do this. That's going to be my face. It's all God. But I want to give a shout out to Eddie and Tia Crockett specifically first, because those two people, y'all dope. And I just want to say that because it's been a long time for me and my wife to where we see people that are on the path that we're on, like legitimately. Like it's not even a question. Like, you know, those people that you when they call, you pick up, or when you call them, they pick up. Talk about anything without being too saved. You know, like Michael Jr., the comedian, some people that's oversaved. Not like that. But yeah, man, it's a dope feeling to get to a place where you can rest. And what I mean by rest is in your heart, like God is like, I got you. Just give it some time. I got you. And that's where I feel like I'm moving towards, because all of the things that I've struggled with affected me as a man. It affected me as a provider. It affected me as a leader. It affected me as a father. And it was difficult. And don't get me wrong, it's still a challenge. But right now, being in the position that I'm in, it is becoming more and more clear daily. And one thing I should have said from the beginning: reading the Bible, reading the Word, studying the Word, and getting the actual understanding of it makes a difference. And I've been doing that more lately. But yeah, man, I know this is a long video, but man, I'm more at peace than I've been in a long time. And is everything perfect? Not at all. But having people like the Crockett's around me and around my family, man, it's dope. And it's a whole group of brothers at the church after we were at the last service, and it was the last panel. Y'all should check it out on Kingdom Builders Christian Church page. Men on Fire, the last week we just celebrated here. It's just dope, man. It's just dope to have different men and age groups of men just kind of talk about life experiences and how they've grown. It was dope. But dude, just coming to the realization that how amazing you are, and how amazing we as children of God are, and realizing and constantly and consistently remembering that nothing is possible without God. And the fact that you're still here today, because I also just lost a friend of mine, like suddenly, to me, suddenly. Yo, there's been a lot of deaths, family and friends in the last 5 years. My goodness. Woo. And these are all, I'm gonna say all of them, and it's just me personally, all of the deaths that have happened have been very close to home, close family, friends. Man, I hate that it takes those moments to make people realize that nothing is promised. Your time on this earth is limited, so there's no room to waste time with being just sad. Like, we waste so much time on negativity. We waste so much time trying to fix things that are not in our power to fix. It's a waste. And I think that's why God blessed me with such a lighthearted spirit. He blessed me to be meek. He blessed me to be patient. Because if I was still in the place that I was years ago, oh my God, I had to get rid of that guy because he was going through, it would have been sad for a lot of people if I would have continued on that path. And people who know me, I'm not a wild boy or whatever you want to call it, a hothead. I've never been that guy. Never been that guy. But when it came to it, if I said I was going to do it, anything. If I said I was going to do it, unfortunately for you, consider it done. And I'll leave that at that. And that's on that. But I just thank God. Like, I'm so grateful, y'all. So grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for what God has in store for me and my family and the people around me. And I pray that God helps you with whatever you're struggling with. I pray that God just blesses you to receive the thing that he's getting for you, or the thing that he has for you. He has to. But he's not going to give it to you if your hands are closed and your heart isn't right. It's not. And you have to start walking in it. Like, I'm going to say one more thing. I know it's been a long video. Hopefully y'all stick around. If y'all don't, it is what it is. But one thing that also made a difference in my life is like, I've always had a vision, right? As a man, you're supposed to write a vision, make it plain. We heard it all the time. I had a vision, and I remember writing it down when I was younger, but when I became married, I didn't write it down until recently. So I said that to say this. If you haven't written down your vision, and for me, I struggled with it because in my mind, I'm like, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly where I want my family to be. I've said it. I've said it multiple times. But here's the kicker. And this is hard for me. I'm just speaking for me. Some people get it early, some people don't. But when I actually wrote it down, when I actually shared with my wife, and she asked me for a long time. I'm like, what you talking about? Yes. I'm like, we want the same things. We're on that path, right? In my mind. But when I actually came to grips with that, and when I actually prayed to God, like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? That's when I started to piece together. That's when I started to really get to this point. It might sound a little vague. I don't know how else to say it. I'm a little bit exhausted. But, yeah, man, just be encouraged, y'all. But more specifically, men, watch what you're doing. Watch how you're speaking to people. Watch how you're responding to situations. Because your blessings are going to come right when you think it's over. Right when you think it's over. At that point where you like, I can't do this no more. That's typically where blessings are on the way. I've missed plenty of marks. You understand me? I've missed plenty of opportunities to work through and, you know what I'm saying, go through tests and trials properly. I missed the mark. So I'm just letting you know, because just because you missed the mark, which is hard, it's annoying, it's tedious, you're going to have to go through it again until you get it right. So please be encouraged. Please ask God to help you with your patience, help you with how you speak, help you with your daily life. That's why it's called daily bread. Like, you got to constantly, and I got Post-it notes all over my bathroom mirror now. All over it. Because I have to keep it in front of my face. It's just me. I have to keep it in front of my face, because if I don't, I'll put it off to the side. I'll forget it, or my mind is always going. So whatever you have to do, therapy, writing it down, all the things, do it. Stop waiting on horrible situations to make you or force you to change or upgrade or live better or talk better. Quit waiting on bad things to happen. Tomorrow is not promised. Trust me. If you've been on social media or paying attention to any media at all, tomorrow's not promised. Stop wasting time. I love y'all. God bless you. Sincerely, God bless you all. Keep going. Women, thank you for listening. I'm encouraging y'all too, but I wanted to really speak to the men and let them know that, man, it's a lot out there to do. It's a lot of money to be made. It's a lot of opportunities to build those relationships. You still have time if you govern yourselves accordingly. Keep God first. Love you. Peace out. Nakfina.